You know I'm gonna really light this one up because we're going back to the same topic. I don't go back to topics, so
Yes.
I'm gonna be
Going back in time.
I'm gonna be an ass the entire session now because of that.
I was thinking we'd just ask about like what's going on, and we would probably roll from there. And if we found a topic at some point, we would actually
Found a topic. I mean, it's like
yes, we were hunting for one at some point and happened to. Aha! Look, a topic. A wild topic in its raw state. Hark! What do I see but the topic? All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Not Robots Podcast. That's Harry, and before he interrupts me again, that's Pete. And we still think that he's like Bishop from the Alien series. If you haven't seen Alien 2 or 3, he's we don't know, possibly an automaton. Did I collect that correctly this time, or are you going to do your hand signals for 13 first? There it is. You know, the camera, the way it looks at it, for those who are actually watching the outtakes pages and stuff like that and so on, they see 3-1.
That's 10. We had this discussion. I'm doing this podcast in the protest tonight because apparently we don't really have a topic, so we're revisiting a topic, and I do not go back in time. I do not time travel.
Well, we didn't quite cover the
I
topic.
thought we covered it thoroughly.
I'm pretty sure we were totally off subject the entire time on the last one.
Alright, so what's your age-old question? Apparently he gets his questions from some place where they're either aging meat or cheddar. I'm not quite sure.
Well, first I want to start off with, what's up with the bowling shirt? Were you out bowling again today, or were you with your boy?
I was coaching.
You were coaching bowling again today. That's
cool. Oh, I forgot to mention the boy whose name shall remain anonymous for podcast purposes because I don't need to go out and kill people.
Smart.
Because his name's out there. So last weekend I did mention that he was trying to qualify for a tournament, right?
Well, I saw some of the scores and it was 280.
Yes,
That's amazing.
Well, that was Sunday. He was just practicing.
Oh.
So he was qualifying for the Pepsi tournament, which is this large tournament that's held around the country, the Florida State Pepsi tournament. And he has qualified for that tournament every year since I believe he's been 7.
Wow.
And he's placed in the top 10 the last 5 years.
And this time he won it?
No. The tournament, this was only the qualifier.
Oh.
So
okay.
now there's 2 parts to the tournament. There's a scratch part, which you know as scratch is just your score, and then there's a handicap part, right? So there's different age ranges for each, and in one they stop the break off at I believe it is under 12, and then the next block is under 20.
Okay.
So the Child's exhibition of last weekend.
I can beat that.
Yes, thank you. The Child's exhibition of last weekend placed him in first place for the.
Really? Against 20-year-olds?
The center for all the males under 20. Because he shot out his butt. He just, the scores were just phenomenal last weekend. It was frightening how good he was.
Speaking of shooting out of your butt, have you read my shirt?
No, and based on that, I'm not sure I want to.
It says, for those of you listening on the podcast.
Yes, for those of you who are watching on the podcast,
yeah.
His shirt says,
"My AR-15 self-identifies as a bolt action." You know what's really funny about that?
that it's true.
No, my I don't own an AR-15.
Oh, I figured that it is indeed.
My wife got the shirt for me. It's cute, thanks, but I don't own an AR-15. Maybe we need to purchase one.
No, maybe we need to forge my axe.
Oh yeah. Speaking of, I have to have a place to forge it, and I've been back to house hunting, looking for houses, stuff like that. Just like I have been.
So you can forge my axe.
And we did find one that we actually liked, and we put in an offer. Offer was accepted. We're going through the whole rigmarole of sign a million times, and so on for inspections and so on.
It's 4.2 million actually. I mean, I don't understand understand how one pen can handle all of that. But
Well, it's digitally now, so when you do it on a tablet, you just poke it a bunch of times with your finger until your finger actually is half a centimeter shorter, and then the rest of the joints start locking up from carpal tunnel.
so you don't have a fingerprint on the nub. It's just kind of flat now.
Well, I
It's
feel
like-
for that poor little guy, the Oriental kid that's doing the translation between the G and the I.
Why does it have to be an Oriental kid? Why?
We
For
just
those
guessed.
of you who are of any other preferential racial, we are not trying to racial profile. I apologize for my podcasting partner.
No, remember we were talking about the translation between the G and the I, and he's sitting there pressing the G and the I, and he's got really strong fingers. Me pressing the sign here thing so many times, turns out I do not have really strong finger.
Perhaps you need to start working on those fingertip push-ups.
Ooh, can you do fingertip push-ups?
Not anymore. I used to be able to.
See, I weigh 240. My fingers ain't handling that. That's not gonna happen.
Yet. You don't start out. I mean, you start out with 5, and then you work your way down until you can get to.
Is that how they get to it?
Yeah, it's conditioning, sir. Conditioning.
Well, what about like with
You know,
Bruce Lee with the
hair and
1-inch punch?
condition. That's conditioning.
Did he start off with it like 5 inches and
I
then
don't
slowly backed
know.
off into the 1-inch thing?
Did you ever see Jet Li's hands?
Do you think maybe he was trying to get it to like the 1/2-inch punch?
Did you ever see Jet Li's hands?
No, they're blurry.
No, if you actually take a good look before he actually starts punching people, he makes a fist. You'll notice the size of his fist.
It's pretty small.
No, it's not. His fists are huge.
Oh, maybe it's just because it's blurry.
They're largely callous from
Oh.
conditioning.
I should look. Yeah, I'm gonna get on the G later and type images of Jet Li's hands.
Because you know you and getting on the G.
Yeah, huh? Yeah. So anyway, looking at houses, went in for it, pressed the button a whole bunch of times, and they do
Did
the.
it have a bomb shelter?
No, unfortunately.
Did
I know.
Was it powered by a dwarf sun?
No, it doesn't have a phone booth.
Does it have any Elon attachments?
No, but we're hoping that we can get to that.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So
You know that I've invented a word now.
you've invented a
I've
word.
invented a word.
Another word
Yes, sir.
you have invented.
Yes, sir.
Well, pretty soon you'll be writing your own dictionary. Well,
Yes, I will.
Let's have at it.
Elonify.
Ooh, Alonify.
That's when you go
I
all
like it.
tile and battery so that your house just becomes a giant absorber and capturer of energy.
I wonder how the Tesla fans would think about that.
Elonify, they probably, oh yes, this is probably getting stolen as people are listening to this right now. I better trademark
They
this
might have
right
already-
now.
They might have already used that word.
Elonify?
Yeah,
Elonification?
yeah.
I Elonify, he Elonify, she Elonifies. You know, we got to conjugate it.
And they Alonificated.
No, it's Elonified, the past tense of it.
Alana fornicated.
No. I think you're getting confused now. Because that would be using solar power to. Let's move on.
Anyway,
And,
so they do the liens and checks thing on you, right?
They lean on you?
Well, to make
Wait,
sure
are
you're
you
not
money,
owing
are you money laundering?
No, of course not.
Is,
I mean,
is
if I
this-
did, I
is-
would be able to afford a bigger house.
Are you,
But-
did you reach out to an illicit organization to procure funds? I mean, did you
Even
get
if I
leaning
did,
on
they
you?
wouldn't accept it. Who am I? I mean,
No.
apparently Google knows who we are.
Apparently,
now, but-
you owe us some funds here, so I sent
That's-
my guy
that's
to
what
hit
it
you
said.
in the kneecaps. They sent a guy to hit you in the kneecaps?
No, not that part yet. But they did say, "Aha, you owe $7,500 in state tax to a state I was never a resident of."
Are
Aha.
you sure?
Yes.
Are you sure it wasn't like some mad bender for like a year and you became conscious and realized you were a resident of this state?
No, it happened to be the same state that I was stationed in, Maryland, for example.
So then you were there.
I was there, but I'm not a resident of it. When you're on
So, okay.
duty orders.
let
Well,
me-
actually,
let-
even
let's-
during the year that it says, I didn't even spend 11 months out of the year inside the United States. I was overseas. So even for the
Minimum requirement thing?
Yeah, what the heck was it called again? The
Residency requirements usually.
Well, the residency requirements for the state of Maryland's 183 days out of the year that you had to physically been in Maryland.
That's greater than half.
It's like 6 months.
Yeah, that would be appropriate.
But I definitely wasn't there for 6 months.
Can you prove it?
Absolutely.
Are you sure that
I
they
can
don't?
probably pull up copies of military orders and so on and so on and so
pull
on.
up some dash cam and some ATM cam pictures of you meandering around.
All I have to do is pull out my passport and show the passport stamps.
Oh, come on.
I'm
Don't
sure I
you
still
watch
have
those
some.
Mission Impossible movies? We all know that passports can be faked.
Yeah. I'm sure that's super easy
It's
to do.
really, they do it
At
on
least
TV
according to
all
the
the
movies.
time.
Yeah, they just got hundreds of them spread out.
Just every country
Which
just
Joe
kinda
Blow do you want to be today?
hanging. Exactly.
No.
That's how it works.
I don't have access
And
to
then
whoever
they
it is.
just
that can-
Photoshop you into the passport and you're good to go.
Well, that would be cool, because then it could say that I'm a resident of Barbados or something.
Which would be a wonderful place to be a resident of.
Then the special robots or whatever it is that does the little squigglies on the pages of the
Are
passport.
we in the Matrix now?
Maybe.
On the you said squid. I'm envisioning.
Oh, you're up in what is it, Matrix 3 when they have the squid things all
Four.
chasing-
We need 4 because it's coming
Matrix
out
4
the
is
same
soon.
day that Bill and Ted's coming out.
No, it's not Bill and Ted.
It's
Although it should be Bill and Ted. It should
Well,
be
it's
Bill and Ted
gonna be-
3,
yeah, but-
Matrix 4, and John Wick 4 at the same
Five.
time. That would be amazing.
No, that would be 4. Yeah. So we would have John Wick in his various states. Chill
Keanu Reeves in all forms.
in his various states. Chill.
And if he was like riding a
Currently
motorcycle
psychotic
through the middle.
killer and future psychotic killer.
Yes.
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 So you see, this is what happens when you do drugs when you're young. You become a psychotic killer. And travel
What
through
if
time in a phone booth.
I've never done drugs.
Thanks to Carlin.
Thankfully.
He's not here anymore.
I've
so-
never even smoked weed before. And I know it's like, oh, how is that possible?
Never smoked.
I didn't even know what it looked like until I started working where I
Why
do.
would one smoke crabgrass?
I know you were eating your grass or drinking your grass.
You know,
on
and I
the
didn't
last
drink my
episode.
grass today because I forgot to I wanted to chill my water, and I forgot to put water in the fridge to chill it. So now I
Well,
did not drink.
you're off your routine
Yeah,
because
I
you
am.
weren't working for 16 hours today.
Well, that is true, but I didn't drink my grass.
Okay. Well, anyway, so they say that underneath my name in the state that I was stationed during a time that I wasn't even in that state, somebody
Let alone
filed
in the country.
state taxes under my name with my social, and it comes to like $7,500. Now I would have had to make a tremendous amount of money for state taxes
Are you
to
sure you weren't
equal
a
$7,500.
contractor at that time?
If I was, it would have been a heck of a lot more money than I made. I tell you that. It would have been a heck of a lot more. Because, think about it, all right? State tax
Mm-hmm.
on, we'll say, $100,000
Mm-hmm.
in Maryland, when it's 6%, is $6,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means that it would have had to been somewhere along the lines of $115,000
Mm-hmm.
of taxable income.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
Okay, I'm sorry. I used to live in that area, and that kind of money was trivial.
Not when you're there as an active duty.
Oh well.
When you're in the military, you don't make anywhere near that kind of. You can't even. Man, that's like $100,000 too high. So really. Well, they pay
Okay.
for your housing and food. There's a whole lot cheaper because of the commissary. Now it's not. I guess under Obama, he changed something. I don't know if it was his thing or whatever, but it was just during the time that we always say it's in that 8-year block. At some point, they made it where they had to be a competitive price to outside the base. So then all the prices for the commissary just kind of like went up, and now it's not even like cheap like it used to be. Like I remember you could go outside the base to in Maryland was it Giant?
Yes.
Is that what it was?
Was it Giant Eagle or something like that?
No, the grocery store.
Yeah, because Pittsburgh was Giant Eagle. It was, I think it was just Giant. Yeah.
Anyways,
Yeah.
what were
That was
the
before
other ones?
Wegmans moved in.
Oh, I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Wegmans is?
No.
Sacrilege!
How?
Oh, forget it.
Anyways, so you would go to the grocery store, and I think it was Giant, possibly.
It was most likely
And-
Giant. Yeah.
Was it Safe? Maybe Safeway too? Was that it?
I don't remember that. It's
I don't
been a
remember.
while
Anyway,
since I
so
was in that part of the world.
somebody in Maryland will let us know. What's
Yes,
the name of the grocery
do
stores
do
in
we
here?
have a listener in Maryland or a podcast here in Maryland? Please let us know ignore Wegmans, please, and let us know your grocery store chains. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
notrobotsquestions@gmail.com. And you'd go into the grocery store, you'd see the steak prices, and it would be like, $8 a pound or something. Kind of like, what it is now for a good steak, about $8 a pound. And then you'd go to the commissary, and it would be like, wow, I get an 8-pound steak for, $2. Or you'd go like, screw that, I'm getting a whole bunch of them, throwing these things on the grill, But,
That is kind of really not fair.
well, you're already active duty, and you're not making the same kind of money as the people that are outside of the base. What it is that your bills are do not scale for those outside of that base. So say these guys who are active duty and they're in like California or New York, like around the major cities in that area, their grocery stores are going to be tremendously more expensive. So they're not making more money being in that area.
The grocery store is tremendously more expensive.
Well, everything's more expensive in California than compared to like say, Grant. The south end of Brevard County, Grant, Florida. See, exactly. Nobody knows where Grant is. Let's just use that. Mims, the north end of Brevard County. We're a little closer to
For
that.
those of you who do not know what MIMS is, don't Google it.
There's nothing there.
There's plenty there.
Some trailers, a tire change
that's
place,
not
and a
even
construction
true. It
company.
depends on where in MIMS you go.
Like, what's there?
There are a few enclaves of doctors in MIMS.
Okay.
So there's
Do they have a doctor's office in Mims?
No, this is their residences.
Or do they just live there because it's cheaper?
No, because you can get huge tracts of land.
For less money than getting a huge tract of land, say, in, I don't know, Cocoa Beach.
There isn't enough land in Cocoa Beach for you to have a huge tract of.
No, because it's all bought and sold off. Yeah.
That and it's beach.
Well, the whole state of Florida is sand.
No, do not.
Okay, you're right. The Panhandle
No.
is not
So
all
you're
sand.
you're differentiating between waterfront and not waterfront. As soon as you say waterfront, all of a sudden you can just throw an arbitrary extra zero on things.
No. That's a digit in the front and at the back.
Well, yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
So there's a difference between Mims and Cocoa Beach. A
Tremendous.
huge difference.
Oh, yes.
Yes. So you couldn't get huge tracts of land out there. And even if there was any
So
available,
how much more
the
expensive?
price point on it, because it's, because we all want to sit there and say, oh, the gentle sound of the crashing waves. Wait, what's that big swirly
not
thing
gentle,
out there?
it's really loud.
In the water. Oh, that's a hurricane. I hope my house is designed to deal with it because there's nothing between me and it.
Well, let me check the
that's
deed
awesome.
on what year it was made, so I know if I have at least 6 hurricane straps. Yes. Well, how much more expensive do you think the grocery store in Mims, if there even is one, maybe a Piggly Wiggly or something left over, versus say a Publix in Cocoa Beach?
Wait, you just said a grocery store in Mims versus a Publix in Cocoa Beach.
Well, I don't think there's a Publix in Mims. But if there was, let's just use that as an example. Well, let's use Winn-Dixie, because the chance of them being at both of them is pretty high.
The North End one, the one on Garden Street, would be the closest one to that.
Okay, well, even in Garden Street in Titusville, compared to say the Winn-Dixie, is there a Winn-Dixie in Cocoa Beach? There is a Winn-Dixie in Cocoa Beach.
I don't
Yeah.
hang out on
Well,
Cocoa
the
Beach.
prices
Do I
between
look like I
those two-
surf? Do I look like I surf?
Yeah, you got a great tan.
So let's move on.
Look at me, dude. Man, I step outside and immediately the sun's laughing as it goes.
Wow. Wow.
Hey,
Laughing.
Who's
That's
cooking
just-
bacon?
That's kind of brutal.
It's sizzling out here. Yeah, that's me.
That's kind of brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, oh yeah, look at the beach. The beach looks great. The crashing waves are loud. It's always
They're
windy.
not loud when it is not always windy. There are times when it's kind of flat and calm. But
Well, if there's no waves, then it's not windy.
So exactly. So
Okay. And that
And if
sand
you-
in the middle of
hey,
the summer
I got
is
this
like
idea.
burning glass.
I got this idea. Close the windows and you won't hear as much of the surf crashing. The windows thing.
Yes.
See, you must have become Floridian because there's this whole time. Oh my God, it is below 70. It is cold. I'm like, well, put it. Honestly, below
Okay,
70.
yeah,
Well, put a jacket on.
We both live in
wait,
Florida.
I have my parka on already. It's only below 70. What is the problem? And then when it actually gets vaguely cold, 30, the apocalypse has come. Oh my Lord!
Panic and flail. Yeah, for me, I'm still just putting on a sweatshirt and I'm gonna wear my flip flops. But
I put on
I'm
my
not
portable
from
hair.
as far north. I didn't live as far north as you. I was only stationed in that area. You probably still living further north than I was stationed.
Where were you stationed?
The south end of
north.
Maryland.
Oh, that's the furthest north you've ever.
That's not the furthest north I've ever been. That's
For
just
any length of time.
for any long period of time. Well, unless you want to count
Southern
like
boy.
Nevada, like Fallon, for
Stop.
because that was
Stop.
high
Walk
desert,
away. Walk away.
crazy cold.
Just walk away.
Ooh, I should tell you about Fallon, for example. Speaking of high desert and
Jimmy?
cold. No, as in Nevada.
High Sierra.
The Naval Air Station, Fallon.
Clint Eastwood.
No,
No.
no, no,
No.
no,
No.
no,
No.
no. So
Dang. I was gonna go all Clint Eastwood. I was going all in. I was gonna every Western. But okay, fine. You just.
I'm in an F-18.
Hornet.
On the ground, it's
Mhm.
chalks and chains and so on. And the right display, digital display indicator, DDI, it had to be replaced. And we're shorthanded and everything, so I'm up there in the cockpit and I'm pull this thing out. And I got it over my shoulder and I'm climbing down the ladder of the F-18 and I look below me. Mind you, it's like really, really cold for like high desert northern Nevada. We're talking like
40 degrees.
sub-zero temperatures.
Ooh, intriguing.
Yeah, it was very, very cold. And me being, Louisiana, I don't like
You're
cold.
a state?
No, from. Right? Thanks. So I don't.
You
I
are
don't like
large.
cold.
You
I
have gravitational
well,
pull. I wasn't sure.
I don't have anybody orbiting me yet. We'll get there
got a wife
eventually.
and
We
two
keep
kids.
this up. That's funny.
Sorry, ma'am. Don't shiv me, please. Or you, Merida.
Oh, that's great. The parental planets with orbiting children. I like it. Hey, my dad says I'm so bright, he calls me son. All right, so I'm coming down out of the F-18, and it's so cold. I look down. Mind you, I've been in the jet with the canopy closed for a while because it's windy, and it's so cold like it hurts the eyeballs. In the below zero. I don't know the exact temperature, but it was really really cold. Like everything.
Like you said, you're from Louisiana. It was probably like 45 degrees. But go ahead.
No,
Keep
because
going.
the wolves came out of the mountain and were sleeping in a pack underneath the jet because it was the last one turning and it's the only warm spot left. I stepped down off that ladder into the middle of a huddled pack of wolves.
Are you serious?
Yes. One of them just popped its head up a little bit and looked at me and just watched what it is I did. And I was like, nice puppies, holding on to this. It's like 60-pound. Like these little monitors, they're only, say, 4 inch by 4 inch or so, 5 inch by 5 inch on the display or whatever. But they're super robust and they have a lot of stuff that they have to do on each one of these monitors. It isn't just a monitor. And they're like, I don't know, maybe 1.5 feet long, even though the display is only, so. So inside that jet, I mean, it's really, really long, and it's got this steel handle on the thing, right? So it's well, not steel, it's probably aluminum. I don't know.
Yes.
It's pretty strong, right?
It's aluminum most likely.
So I'm holding the thing over my right shoulder, climbing down the ladder, stepping down in the middle of this pack of wolves. That's how cold it was. Nice puppy, and stepping over them.
You have got to be kidding me.
Oh, no, I'm dead serious. And walk back to the hangar, freezing my, off. But also mildly scared at the same time, which was also keeping me from running. And
there was
also
no growling.
No, nothing. No growling, no nothing.
You posed no threat.
Clearly. That or they were like, he ain't going to do anything, it's too cold. It was like,
you posed no
there's
threat.
like 20 of us. I don't even know how many there was. It was really cold, and I had my goggles on.
Yeah, 4 seconds, you'd have been a meal.
I don't even think it would have taken them 4 seconds.
They'd have to get up.
Yeah.
They were huddled and cold.
Yeah, when you
Yeah,
see a
they have to
dog,
limber up.
yeah, throw a piece of bacon in front of a sleeping dog. How long does it take him to get up and eat it?
No. You said in
It ain't
front
4
of. You're like
seconds.
walks in. So, and it was cold, so they had to get up and get a little stretch in.
I'm already in the middle of the pack.
Well, they had to still
Well,
have
kind
to
of
stand
on
up.
like the outskirts, not the dead center.
And I
of it,
mean,
but-
you're sinewy.
Well, I haven't eaten me, so I don't know for sure, but I assume so. Since
At
it
the
is a
time,
human body.
you wouldn't have, you couldn't fit in a jet. Now,
That is
at the
true.
time, you were sinewy and lean.
Yeah, it was about 135 pounds.
Yeah, so you know that was like 100 pounds ago.
That's back when I was running 6 miles a day too.
You should do that again.
No. No. I found the joy of lifting weights as opposed to running.
No,
running, you're like, oh,
why
well,
on earth would you lift weights?
That's fun, lower stress.
Fun?
Yeah.
I worry about you.
You don't think lifting weights is fun?
Not at all. Not
I pick it up, I put it down. It does sound pretty boring.
It is. I mean, there's
Well-
no creativity in that.
No, there's
There's no
not.
thought.
But no, it's part of it though. Is you shut your brain off.
Then how do you
Which
know
is
what you put on
amazing.
the bar? How are you doing plate math if your brain's shut
Okay,
off?
you basically throttle your IQ all the way down to like I'd say a sub 85 level, and you can still figure out what plates that you're going to put on there if you have a routine and you follow your routine.
What happens if you don't have Nico Jim lift things?
Yeah, that's right around there. Stompy. I get there, lift weight,
Bar. Small humans on bench. Yeah.
just throw them out of the way. You on that end of the bar. You on that end of the bar. Hold tight.
Exactly. Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah, I suppose that's. Boy, that would. I
But
don't know. People don't weigh
that's
the
not
same.
fair. I don't
That
have
would be
beverage
uneven.
today. You had beverage. I did not. I was not.
Hey, that's not my
ill-prepared.
fault. You
I
had grass
apologize.
clippings you could have used for your thing.
I apologize. I was ill prepared tonight. I do not have beverage.
You could have used your grass clippings inside of your
Should
ball
have
mason
made
jar.
myself a cup of green tea.
You know, I was drinking green tea while I was watching a movie before I came over with you. So I came over here to record this with you. Got weird.
We're recording. By the way,
Yeah.
those of you who are unfamiliar. with
Yeah, this isn't live. Ooh. I mean, we're live.
Are
Are
we?
we?
I don't know. So then, is this back in time? Because they're seeing we're recording it, but they'll be seeing it at another point in time. So so we have captured a moment in time space.
Yes.
Actually, several because the Earth is still moving no matter what we do. And we have frozen it in electronics, and we are going to send these people back in time. Back in time to participate in our rantings.
Okay, for us, it's the future. I
No, it is not the future for
currently
us.
for us, it's the present.
No, right now, for us, it's right now.
We are in the future.
No, we're not.
For
Because when
us,
they
right
listen
now,
to
it's the
us,
present.
when they listen to us, it'll be right now.
It'll be the present for them.
No, but it'll be the present
It'll be
for us.
the past
Look.
for us.
So, is it right now? Right now? And they've obviously got to say yes because it's right now. When I asked them if it was right now.
But because these release on a Monday, and they watch it or he listened to it on a Tuesday,
But it's still right now.
they're watching the past.
But it's not. No, it's right now.
It's only now for them.
Is it now?
now,
Is it,
now
right
it's
now, ask yourself, is it now? And if the answer is yes, then we are right here with you.
Well, when will then be now?
In the
Soon.
future.
Spaceballs. Soon.
So when is now?
Right now.
Exactly. And then when is then?
So when is now
What?
for us later?
No, when was then?
It'll be later.
No. Then's gone. Then is irrelevant now.
Then is in the past.
Well,
Well, now will
then is
also
simply
be in
is
the
it-
past.
No,
when
now
this
is
comes
not
out.
in the past. Now is now.
Now-
Now will always be now.
Now is only now for us.
No,
or
no, no.
when it's released, it'll be now for them.
Once again, ask yourselves if this is now, if you're listening. And if it's now, it's now, right? It's now.
It's not for us. When this is released, it'll be a now at that point, but it'll be in the past for us.
It's now.
That's why we right
If
now
I spool up
we're
this
making
podcast,
the future.
If I spool up this episode of the podcast and I answer to myself, is it now? The answer will be yes, it is now.
Only for you now.
It will always be now for me now.
But now
How is now not going to be now?
Now will not be now in basically 2-3 weeks or whatever it is before this one comes out.
But it will still be now.
It'll only be now for us now.
No,
but
it's going to
not
be
now for us then. It'll be then. Not
It'll
now.
be now for, look, we are
Now will be in the past.
No, that's not true.
It is.
Now will be now. We have captured ourselves digitally, and we are projected. Transporter. So we've captured ourselves digitally, and we're beaming ourselves in time space.
So today on the Not Robots podcast, we answer the age-old question: Is now, or is now later?
Frankly, I like the banana now-laters because those are awesome. But oh god, the great now-laters.
I was always partial to the banana ones too.
I love the banana ones.
Yeah.
But then they had that. Was it cherry now-later? Or was it the strawberry? Was there a
The strawberry ones.
Oh man. Those were phenomenal.
You know, the first time I had a now and later, it was, I think, a grape one. And I was
it
like,
now?
No, it was later. It was then.
It was then?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's not a now and then.
It wasn't now, it was then.
Oh, it was then?
Although the memory is now,
Okay.
what happened was then.
Ah.
Yes. So right now we're recording now. The now memory that we're going to remember when we see or hear this then, which is now for those who are listening.
I didn't even try to follow that, ladies and gentlemen. So if you did, please write the podcast and explain it to me.
Yeah, now.
Yes, now.
Or later.
So let's get back to the now-laters. So is it me, or are now-laters like a quarter of their original size? Because I remember the now-later being this big behemoth of a thing
Yeah, I always
that would
remember
wedge
them-
itself in like a retainer.
I always remember them being rather small compared to other candies. But when I look at them now, as a now, or in the past, because I don't have any right at this now time, in the past, then, when I looked at them then, as in recently, but not then as in like back when I was a kid, they
He's doing that
seem
thing
rather
again.
small.
He's doing that thing again.
Now
I'm telling
time
you.
frame, roughly speaking,
Maybe it was because
Now and
I
laters
was young.
seem
but
much smaller.
I swear to you, they were ginormous.
They were big for candies. Like, they seemed like not small, but then again, like, I mean, king size, you know.
Wasn't it like
Snickers
wasn't
bar
it
was
almost
enormous.
a 1-inch square, as opposed to the little dinky thing you get now?
I think it was bigger than a 1-inch square. Wasn't it like a 2x1?
No, it was square.
It was rectangular.
But it was no, it was square. I mean, it used to be. Think about a.
Oh
It
yes.
used to be
I'm
about
thinking of
that
the
thick.
Laffy Taffy.
No,
The
not
Laffy
Laffy
was
Taffy.
rectangular.
No, yeah, Laffy. Oh, Laffy Taffy.
The now and laters, those were like the Starbursts in shape, only they were bigger than the Starbursts.
And they weren't chewy.
Now, Starbursts back then they weren't good.
No, Starburst sucked when they originally came out.
Starburst is good now. You know what? I think the now us, as opposed to
Are you
the
saying
now
that we
them,
have evolved taste buds?
have evolved taste buds.
Wow. So, but we still appreciate the now later, even though they're smaller.
I do appreciate now, and I appreciate later.
Oh my God, the sour apple now or later.
Oh, man, the sour
king
apple
of all candies.
warheads.
I've never had a sour apple warhead. No, that good.
You're missing out, man.
Seriously?
Now, I'll tell you, on the now, not as in the then, the warheads, they're not as strong as they used to be.
They used to be better.
You know, even my daughter will say something's wrong with the warheads. They're not as strong as they used to be.
Maybe they took out purple dye number 14 that was probably killing people and that lost its flavor. I don't know.
Maybe they added that 1% natural flavoring or something. Well, the warheads, I remember as a kid, you pop one of those things in your mouth and your whole head feels like it's going to go "Rah!" and just implode.
See, I don't think I ever had warheads as a kid.
They were ridiculously sour, and they had like a powder on the outside too. So the moment they hit your tongue, it not only was like, oh my God, instant sour, it took all of your saliva in your mouth and went right to it to explode with like sourness flavor. And it was amazing. I mean, for a while, the warheads were actually Dare type candy.
I guess I never had a warhead. I am deprived.
Well, have you had the fireballs?
Oh yeah, I had fireballs.
Yeah, fireballs. They were always kind of strong or whatever. And then the best part was when you got them kind of like melted down just enough where
So you got to the sweet
you could
part.
crunch them, and boy, they were sweet and delicious.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect reward for enduring the pain at the beginning. Yes. And even those today are not as strong.
No, because you would pop one into the corner of your mouth and be like, what? Did you have to move it back and forth?
Ow.
Now it's like, it's mildly cinnamony.
Yeah. You know,
you should actually dip it in buffaloes. Hot buffaloes.
I could get some hot sauce from Louisiana. Start dumping that on it. Let it dry out.
Rub it in ghost chili.
Well, this stuff might be made with ghost chili.
Even better, Carolina
peppers.
Carolina Reaper.
F the Carolina Reaper.
Rub a little Carolina Reaper on that bad boy? No?
Dude, I can eat jalapenos. They taste sweet.
No, jalapenos.
They're cheap.
No.
Cheap and sweet.
We're talking about.
You start getting up into the
Scotch
really,
bonnet.
You start getting up into the ones that you're like, oh, these are crazy hot or whatever. And you eat those, you're like, they're okay. The habaneros, not so much. You get up to the ghost peppers, you're like, hey, man, that's pretty hot. Whew. The Carolina Reaper, I still can't handle. That's just, okay, so when I was about 18, 19 years old, I was invited to a Christmas party.
5-6 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
It's more than 20. So I was invited to this Christmas party, and I didn't really know a lot of the people there, but I knew this friend of mine was there, and his girlfriend was there, and I was good friends with both of them before the two of them even got together or anything. Her and I, we never hooked up or anything like that. We were always just friends. And then when they got together or whatever, like, hey, you're a friend of ours, come on over, you got anything going on during this time, come to this Christmas party. It wasn't exactly like during Christmas. So I didn't have any family to hang out with. No, it's nothing like that. Not woe is me or anything. It was like 3 weeks before. Nobody's really doing it.
Holiday party.
Yeah, kind of like that. And they were doing like this Chinese gift exchange or whatever it's called, where it's like nobody has any labels on any of them. You don't know who it's going for, but when you get your number or name pulled out of the hat, it's your turn to go up and pick whatever box. And at one point, you're actually allowed to steal somebody else's and trade. Yeah. Anyway, so they were doing that there. But there was this hot sauce that was there, and jalapeno bread, and the stuff, I don't know if I want to say the name of it. I don't think I should say the name of it.
Yeah, because nobody's endorsing us. I mean, if you want us to mention your name to our huge following of...
It is expanding. We've actually gained another 9 on top of the last time I showed you. It's pretty cool. So some people are listening to us. So we're not just robots.
So we're in single digits now?
No. We've been in double digits for a while. It's just one more person, and it'll be a 2 at the beginning instead of a 1.
Wow.
Yeah.
So by the time you've got any friends who think that they would enjoy our lunatic rantings, please bring them into the podcast world so that we can get to the magic number of 20. Thank you for your support.
So anyways, I'm used to hot stuff, right? Like crazy,
you're
spicy.
From Louisiana.
And my grandfather used to give us crazy inbred pepper seeds or whatever. The stuff that he was breeding just to be super ridiculous hot.
He bred peppers?
He bred peppers.
What?
His own peppers.
That's kind of cool.
He even still does today. And these things, I won't even touch them. Like the Carolina Reapers, no, they ain't got nothing on his stuff. His stuff could melt glass.
Can I get some seeds?
If you want some, I bet I can.
I don't want them for me, but I have a friend.
Oh boy. Is he going to grow them or is he going to crush them and eat them?
He's going to grow them.
Okay, well, I don't know if he'll take...
New Mexico, and he grows peppers in his pepper sauce.
So anyways, there's this jalapeno bread.
Oh, I love me some good jalapeno.
Jalapeno, I know, right? But it was good chunky jalapenos and stuff in there.
Was it jalapeno cheese bread or just pure jalapeno?
Just jalapeno bread, no cheese.
Cool.
Just jalapeno bread. And a lot of people were complaining that the stuff was just way too spicy. The bread. And
meanwhile, you're sitting there snorting it.
I'm like, whatever. And I get different hot sauces on the table. And this guy, he's a representative for this one company of hot sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I didn't know at the time. And he's like, hey, did you try that stuff? I'm like, no. He's like, you should give that one a go. So I grab it and I go, boop, boop. He's like, whoa. And he's panicking. Like, no. And I'm like, what? And I throw it in my mouth to start chewing it. It's like, oh, man, this stuff tastes like prunes. He goes, you're the first person I've ever met that has actually been able to taste it. It's like you can actually taste it, and I was like, yeah, man, this stuff it tastes. Oh my god! And all of a sudden it hits me. I forget. I get like on the brink of blacking out. I'm sweating so hard. I've never had
You've
a
met
spice.
the Reaper.
No. At this point, I've had some stuff that was hotter than a Carolina Reaper. This beat that. I have no idea what it was. It was purple. Yeah, and it basically.
Did you ever find out from him what?
I did. Well,
So
anyways,
don't say its name. So
no. So I went into their fridge. I drank all their milk. I had all the hard candies. I'm chopping them down my hole. Gallons of water. They've run out of gallons of water.
Doesn't
I'm
work,
at
all
the
it does
tap.
is spread the oil everywhere.
But I've got to do something because I'm going to end up either dying or in the hospital.
Alcohol and milk.
Ridiculous.
Those are the two things: alcohol and milk.
No, alcohol makes it worse. Oh, yeah. Oh, well, it did.
Really?
Yeah.
This stuff must have been truly evil.
Okay, so, no, really, in my experience, alcohol does make spicy stuff a lot worse. At least for me, I don't know if that's normal for other people. My taste buds kind of weird because of some of the medication I have to take now, at least. They weren't then because I wasn't experiencing the reason that I have to take that medication. It's for headaches. You know. Anyways, it's from military injury or whatever. Anyways, I get migraine headaches now because of about 3 times a week or so. Anyways, so I'm drinking as much as I can. I'm out in the yard with the garden hose. and
This is awesome.
and my friends are out there, they're like, hey, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? What happened? And the guy is following me around, and he's
Thinking
like,
that you're about to die. He's like, I got a lawsuit on my hands. I don't know what I'm going to do.
It's like he was super curious. I don't know if it's...
Because you're the first person to be able
Mind
to
you,
taste it.
21, 22 years ago, when this was, it wasn't one of those, oh my god, I got a lawsuit on my hands. It was like, what is actually going to happen? This is amazing time. It was, like
So this
that.
is before that, Instagram, so the guy wasn't following you with a video camera to
Right.
watch you die so
Right.
that he can post it up on like YouTube
Right.
and crap. Oh
So-
man, the good old days.
So finally, after, we're talking like an hour and a half of pure agony, and I had to pee like 3 times through this because of the amount of pure liquids that I'm just shoving down my, in my mouth. And finally, I'm still bawling sweat, but I'm at the point where I'm like, I know I'm
You can breathe
100%
again.
conscious. I can breathe, and I don't think I'm gonna die. And I was like, oh my god, man, what was that? Was that pure battery acid? Because it tasted horrible. It tasted like prunes. And he said, no, man, like I told you before it hit you, is that's where it got its name. I'll tell you what it is when we have the recording off. But he's like, that's what it is. It's made out of prunes. Yeah, I know. That
a
look on your
hot
face.
sauce made out of prunes.
A hot sauce made out of prunes was the one hot sauce that put me down.
I don't understand.
I didn't understand either.
Prunes are
To this day, I
sweet.
don't
They're
understand
dried plums.
Isn't that
I'm-
amazing?
So what the combination? So it had to be a pepper and a prune.
I don't know.
That's
But it was purple, like a really dark purple. And
dang it. It's not nearby, and I can't force summon it.
your phone so you can use the G.
Yes.
You can check it out later. And if you find out any information about how hot sauce was made out of prunes, let me know, because I mean, either I was like hallucinating from the stuff, or really the guy told me it was made out of prunes. And I'm pretty sure, because I heard it twice, that he said it was made out of prunes, and it tasted like prunes.
Not the flesh, but the pit.
I don't
I
know.
wonder. Now I need to know, because when my dang mind works.
But it was by far the scariest of all the hot sauces ever.
Worse than you. So you can essentially pop a Carolina Reaper in your mouth and live.
Yeah. I won't die. I'll get blisters from it. It really hurt.
That's
Like the
impressive.
inside of my lip, especially the lower one. Because that, my overbite a little bit over the top shields the upper lip, but it's just enough to where when the mouth is closed between the teeth is the edge of the lower lip. And it'll blister from Carolina Reapers. So I don't eat them. And they're just, it's too hot. There's no enjoyment out of it. I like hot sauce that is hot, but also
flavorful.
tastes good. like Crystal or Louisiana or something like that. It has a spice to it, but it's also really really good flavor. Like even that tapacho or whatever that you get like at most of the I mean what even IHOP, or Bob Evans has it too. You know, pretty good. It's got a little bit of the spice to it. At least it seems like a very small amount to me. It could be a lot to other people. I don't know. I guess it depends on your tolerance level. But I think that those do taste really good. And I blame that on my grandfather. The whole the spicy thing. Because like I said, when I was a kid, he used to say, "Hey, here, eat this," and then it would judge it by how much my brother and I would run around his house screaming. So, and another thing, speaking of grandfather, even thinking about during that time, my hands start to like itch, kind of like nettles. I still have that memory of him because he had a farm and grew okra. My brother and I, we would pick okra on his farm, and if I don't know how familiar you are with okra, but it has like nettles to the outside of it when they're fresh. Yeah. Well, say something other than twitch your thumbs, man. Are you all right?
Trying to remember a name.
A name of what? What subject?
An individual.
A person?
Dang it, I can't remember his last name.
His first name is Dang It?
Yes.
Oh.
So when I was in undergrad, there was a gentleman who worked in IT. Well, not IT. He actually ran reports against the databases in our office, and his hobby was hot sauces.
Oh, right on.
And I mean, and this is back in the '90s, before humans and stuff. And
the 1890s.
but no, I meant '90s.
No, it was in 0090.
Yeah, and we once had this very similar discussion. That there's sauces out there that are just hot. I mean, there's no flavor to it. It is just a bottle of pain.
Yeah, I don't understand the reason.
But there are people who seem to like that. I mean, I can understand if you're going to mix that into something else to give it the kick. So you've got flavor, and then you add hot. You know what I'm saying?
Like you're doing an entire giant 5 gallons worth of chili, and you go just a drop.
Precisely. Versus, it's I just it's bleeps red hot. I put this on everything except for it has no flavor. It's just look, someone nuked my tongue.
Well, no, that stuff actually I think tastes all right, and to me it doesn't have any spice.
Ooh.
The bleeps red hot.
Oh no, I wasn't talking about. I mean, it's not like that. It's like people who claim to use stuff like that in a similar vein. But the stuff just nukes your tongue. I mean, it doesn't bring out flavor. All it does is scorch.
Oh, you mean the exact opposite of that?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
yeah. So it's just look, what are those taste buds? Hey, let's go over there. Should we bring them flavor? No, let's just burn them to the ground.
Just bring pain and
exactly. And I don't understand that because I mean. I went to school in upstate New York. I was in Rochester for a while, and there's the whole entire Buffalo-Rochester war of who does better wings. And I've had some really, really good wings. Little mom and pop places doing wings with some phenomenal homemade sauces, but they all had flavor. No matter how, even though you'd get to like a hot point where they'd go, sign here, please. But still there was flavor.
Speaking of wings, there used to be a place at the end of the pier, Cocoa Beach Pier, like the very last restaurant all the end. It's not there anymore, and I want to know what happened to it. But they used to have this twice fried Jamaican jerk wings. Oh my God, they were so delicious, and I don't know what happened to them. Now I know that Frankie's Wings and Things, they moved. And my picture's on their wall twice of their hottest wings or whatever, the 911s or whatever the heck they called them. Those are to the point where they're so hot they really don't have the really good flavor to them anymore because the hot just overpowers it. Mm. But if you eat them fast enough, it's not going to kill you. I mean, it's pretty bad.
So if anyone of our sub-20 listeners knows the restaurant he's talking about and has any clue, please.
Why would they be sub-20? It was like 10 years ago.
No. Sub-20 listeners. The sub-20 listeners. We don't have 20 listeners.
Age?
No, number.
Sub-20s?
We don't have 20 listeners.
I bet by the time this comes out, it's more than 20.
What gives you that impression?
Because yesterday was 19, and this thing's going to come out in like 3 weeks.
And you actually think we're going to find more listeners in 3 weeks?
Yeah.
And where are these magic listeners going to come from?
Well, we've only really been syndicated for, 2.5 months, 3 months?
That's plenty. This is internet time. That's like 15 years. And like internet, because
It's like 15 minutes.
Internet years are like not like dog years. They're so super accelerated. They're warp 3.
Our time frame, because what episode is this?
It's episode
13, that's right. By the time it gets to the end of this, you could have watched or listened to every single one of the episodes in half a day. You could
And
have
somebody's gonna binge pod.
Binge casted?
Binge binge pod.
Binge podded?
Binge podded.
Okay, we'll go with it. Binge podded. You could have binge podded
And
all of these.
I TM that trademark right here. You can't use that.
It's
Royalties.
It's a Harryism. I like it.
I like it.
You're gonna start writing these down. That'll record them, one or the other, and have some sort of physical evidence. Like maybe we should record these.
Haven't we been?
Maybe our stupid conversations would be great to put on a podcast.
That's an idea. You know what we should do?
Change the drive axle on your Audi and then start recording these.
No, we should do a podcast.
What? A podception?
No, podcast of a podcast.
What does that mean?
So we'd have to do a podcast.
But we already had our podcast on the podcast when we had the Google.
No. We have to do a podcast. So we'd have to do a completely different podcast during our podcast.
But that's what the YouTube recording is. It's the recording of our podcast.
No, but we would have to do a completely different podcast. We'd have to not do a Not Robots podcast during a Not Robots podcast.
So it would be a not robots?
No.
Triple negative?
No, don't.
Positive.
It would be a not Robots podcast. It
So
would be some other podcast.
It wouldn't be robots.
So we would have to come up.
It would be robots.
We'd have to come up with some errant podcast for a day, and then pseudo podcast that podcast in our podcast.
The cyber joint. Because that's what robots have. Cybernetic joint.
The silicone spliff? What the hell? Cyber joint.
Yeah, Cheech and Chong and their robot age.
Dude, etch me a fatty. I mean, what the heck?
Break out the lathe.
Oh, man. The cyber joint.
That's a good name for a spin-off on this.
What, the cyber joint?
The cyber joint.
That would be the adult spin-off, though.
It would be Not Robots After Dark.
Yes!
Welcome to the cyber joint.
That's the one where we play Cards Against Humanity with your sister-in-law.
Yeah, the cyber joint.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good time right there.
Oh,
man, we got it. Oh, too bad you're deathly allergic to cats.
Oh my goodness. If you want to kill me, that's how you do it. Shove cats in my nose.
Because Dan and Wendy would be wonderful to
bring to the cyber joint.
Yes, because they Cards Against and all the other good adult complex innuendo linguistic blah card games so well. It would be a blast.
Yeah.
In the cyber joint.
In the cyber joint.
We
I
really
think it's going to be the title of this episode is the cyber joint. Welcome to the cyber joint.
No. This episode was all about. This episode was hot and spicy.
Oh, really?
We gotta say it right. This episode was hot and spicy.
Oh, you had to use your. I have a sexy voice. I don't have a sexy voice, so
I don't have a sexy voice either. I can
just
say
tell the ladies that.
Hot and spicy.
See? Tell the ladies that you don't have a sexy voice.
I don't have a sexy. What ladies? What? There's a lady in our sub 20 listeners.
Well,
sorry, Steph. I apologize. Don't ship me again. Oh man.
He's still recovering from the last one. That's why he's wearing brown pants and a red shirt.
Oh, that was awesome. Oh, yeah, I think I stepped in that one right there. My bad.
Yeah, wipe that off your shoe. Oh boy.
But no, that was the hot and spicy. You know, that was the wing voice. That's a wing voice. How do you like your wings? Hot and spicy.
Well, if they were the twice fried Jamaican jerk wings and they were sweet.
I'm not going there. So someone told me that the Publix wings were phenomenal.
Well, the Publix sushi is really good, according to my wife.
Meh.
For the
I've
price,
had the
apparently, it's pretty good.
For the price, yes. I've had
and
Publix
they hire sushi chefs to do it.
But I go to the other local sushi place. And
Oh,
Tori just
whoa.
loves that.
When you're talking about, like, it's a specialty location specifically for sushi,
But
obviously it's going to be better than something that's boxed up at Publix.
Asiatic cuisine. Shall we say?
Asiatic? Is that going to be the new word again?
No,
Another
that's actually a
Harryism?
word. Oh, that's actually a word.
Is it?
Yes. You can ask your G. Oh, we're running out of time. Okay, so once again, somehow we managed to fill up dang near an hour of not quite lucid strings of words that may make sense to some of you. I doubt it makes sense to all of you. And no, Jeremy, this was really not I don't know.
Are you having another stroke? Is that what's going on over there? What is that? Is that a combination? What was that combination of noises that were
Shout out to Taremi. What's up, Taremi?
I don't know what that means.
I do. Our one commenter. I just shouted out he and his partner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I'll hear about it.
One comment.
What?
We shouldn't have silence like this. It's not a good idea. All right, if you have any bitches, complaints, comments, concerns, or gripes about anything that you heard here, ask somebody smarter than you. Or
hey, I know who that is.
Or you can email
Neil
us
deGrasse Tyson
at notrobotsquestions@gmail.com.
Or contact Elon, because Elon's really smart.
Yes, you can Elon Mulonogram.
You said Mulan. That's a Disney movie. I know we're trying to get on board with them, but you just can't start calling out their movies now. That's not appropriate.
That's dangerous.
Yes.
You can also send us a voicemail at
I don't know.
anchor.fm/not-robots.
This whole /dash thing's killing me.
//
Oh, you see? I don't even get it. You are not alone. I am with you. I am with you.
If you're really generous, which you
here
probably
we
are,
go.
you could also go to that exact same link, and there's a support thing if you want or whatever. But
If you want to tell us we're nuts, you'd be wasting your breath. We already know.
I still want to hear it because I think it's funny.
Oh, okay. He wants to hear it though. I already
If you
know.
think we're crazy, let us know.
Hey, I left my other straitjacket.
Whoa. How'd you get out of the first straitjacket to leave the second straitjacket in the first one?
Mad skill.
Ah.
Get it? Pumped, mad. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. Not Robots out. Krabby Claw 1.
It's 13, man!
It's 3 1.
It's 13.
What do you
The ones on the side is 10, and that's 3.
Yeah, but imagine I'm the camera and I'm looking at you, and you see the Krabby Claw hands and the 1.
It's
What does it look
13.
like? It looks like 31.
No, it's 13. You gotta read left to right. You don't read right to left. This isn't Asia. Or up and down, right to left. We read this way. 1 3. 1 3.
3 1.
1 3.
When you're looking at it, not when that's looking at it.
There's a 1 and a 3 though.
Yes, but you need to do it this way.
Pete's always on my left. I'll give them a frame of reference.
That's because Harry's right.
I'm always right. I sit over here.
But according to the camera, you're on the left and I'm right.
The camera is confused. It's an optical delusion.
A weird illusion.
Pete, my sinuses had never cleared so well in their entire lives. It was like a sea of aromatic pepper, and I'm trying to breathe. My eyes are running. I'm like, you didn't have to eat the pepper, you were experiencing it.
So you had
It was airborne.
You had a near gas chamber experience.
Pretty much.
That reminds me of through boot camp when they did the gas chamber. I wanted to go back in.
Because it was
Well,
pepper.
it burned my face. Really, it didn't seem that bad.
You're like, this
What
is
it did
flashbacks
is
to
it
Grandpa.
cleared my sinuses. There were smells I hadn't smelled before. Like, wow, milk has a smell.
Yeah, it smells like milk.
I can't smell milk. Like, seriously, I have to, like, I look at it and I go, the expiration date's really close. I walk over to my wife. She's like, can you smell this? Because I can't. Is it bad or is it okay? And she'll go, it's fine. Here you go.
Did you ever try Breathe Easier?
I've tried all sorts of different stuff. Like, even if I don't have a sinus issue, I'm super clear, whatever. I'm not right now. But even if I was, living in Florida, all the pollen and stuff like that, and sinuses, whatever, they give me issues all the time. But, like, it didn't matter. This was the clearest I'd ever been.
So
For the first time in my life, like, I go into the chow hall, and I'm getting a bowl of cereal after the gas chamber, and I hit the thing for the milk to come out of the machine.
And
I'm
you
like,
could smell the
I
milk.
could smell the milk, and I was like, what's wrong with this? And they asked me, Chris, is there something wrong with my milk? Because you got to be quiet. You can't really, you got to eat. And they're like, no. There's nothing wrong with milk. It smells like milk. I'm like, milk doesn't smell? Yes. I didn't know. I had no idea.
And they're looking at you like you're cray cray.
Now, I know that it smells bad when it's like rotten.
Yeah, but
like,
before it gets there, it's bad though. There's a smell when it's bad, but not rotten.
I have no idea what that smells like. Other than that time
Sour cream.
when I could smell milk. I love sour cream.
That's what bad milk, right on the edge of getting ready to curdle, smells like. It smells
I didn't
like
know sour cream had a smell either.
That's why it's called sour cream.
Sure, sour cream. Yeah, I understand that, but I can't smell. I've never smelled sour cream.
It smells like sour cream.
Oh, okay.
Just in case you're interested.
But just, yeah, that's one of those things.
So,
I was like, wow, it cleared me out so well. And I was like, oh, it was like some guy who's really bad, horrible eyes for the first time puts on his glasses and can tell that trees have leaves.
Wow, that bad.
I'm like, well, I can smell the world. It's amazing.
So we need to gas you regularly so you can experience life.
No.
So what was the name of the prune shit? That's a fucking statement for it right there.
That's a great name for it, wasn't it? I have no idea if the guy ever made it to the market or if he sold the name of it or after seeing my reaction he's like, fuck that or what.
You should have named it NDE.
Non-deadly equivalent?
Near-death experience.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Yes.
And you want to know what the logo should have been? A little cartoon human with its mouth open and its spirit coming out.
A bottle of hot sauce through smoke.
What's your hot sauce's name? Godzilla. Fuck, is it hot? Oh, you should see what it did to Tokyo. What's in that flask that you're holding with those tongs? Lava.
Nitroglycerin.
No. Oh, that'd be another good name for a hot sauce. Lava.
Yeah. So he brings out this bowl, like this ramekin.
Oh shit.
And he's like, careful. I'm like,
Was it
All right,
red
man.
and a kind of oily-ish?
Yes.
Yes! Ah!
Yes, it was. Yeah. So, man, I get some of this stuff, I put on there, it's like, wow, boy, this stuff's really hot. He's like, you want to try the hot stuff now? I was like, well, what is this? He's like, that's what I give my daughter.
Oh my god!
Don't be a pussy, don't be a pussy, don't